Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 2 of the Unranked to Ultima ranked Crystalline conflict series. Yes, I've caught myself here because in the first episode I said unranked to Crystal, not having realized that there are now Omega and Ultimate ranks in the game, right? Just wanted to continue where we left off, where we were rocking Scholar, and I believe in the last episode we went from unranked to the first rank, which is Bronze. In this episode, my aim or goal is to probably hit mid-silver, somewhat like follow the same pattern as the previous series when I was on Viper, but maybe as a little bonus I'll include some extra games all the way to maybe gold so that I have something to catch you guys up on, because I did start the series last week, and while I have been a little bit busy with real life tasks and duties and things of the like, I thought I'd leave you guys with extra content for you guys to watch. I was trying to do this rather weekly. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get right into game number 1 right after this clip. Alright, so this is not a good sign. It looks like games aren't even popping at this odd of an hour on a Saturday afternoon. But no worries, I will actually wait this out and see if it pops sometime later. Could be now in the next 10 minutes, it could be in the next hour, but we will be sitting here until this pops. So yeah, just to show you guys that games will not always be available. Could be a little detrimental as well to the series, because without games I can't really record anything. So yeah, I'm just trying to show you that we will be waiting. Anyways.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lelouch from the future. We have finally found our first game after 4.5 hours, give or take, so some good news. Let's see what map it is before we load in here, actually. Oh, it looks like it's Bayside, and I'm going to catch the last map of that for the rotation, right? Because I think it said it at 5 Eastern it ends, so this is going to be interesting because Bayside is one of those maps that is Scholar favorable if and only if your team is, how can I say, I don't know, blank. Wow, I can't believe I just blanked out there. I'm usually a man of fancy vocabulary, but in any case, yeah, this map is all decided on the middle point of the map, as I stated in the previous episode, which I believe was mostly Bayside oriented or Bayside focused. But other than that, we're just going to go right into the same thing that we did in episode 1, which is set up with Adlo into DT, followed by Recitation Bio. Simple, easy, and should work in theory. Everything in theory, of course, works in theory, but in practice, it's a completely different ballgame. So we'll see how this goes. In other news, my team comp is purely melee, or purely DPS, I'm sorry, against purely DPS with one tank. I'm interested to see how this plays out, because usually once one healer or one green role of some kind is on a team, it is kind of more favorable to that team, given that there's a level of healing added. But neither here nor there, let's get right into this. So I'm going to Adlo DT here as soon as we jump in, because that way we get the maximum time on the effects here. I'm going to drop Bio on one of my enemies here, and it seems one of my teammates fell down, but I'm going to focus the closest one to our team right now, which is the Gunbreaker here. Hopefully they fall down here. I was going to save the CS, but thankfully it didn't proc, so now I have it for the next fight here. We're going to look Machinist now, because they have no mitigation of any kind, and they're off their Bishop turret right now, so they should be able to die here in theory. And as they fall back here, we're going to look at Viper here, who's on the point, and without them on, with them on point, we can't really push, so I'm going to CS them, try and get them to bait out any more defensives, and as we deal damage, we should also spread the Bio, which is full damage amplified as a result of CS. Machinist came back. We now have Gunbreaker back from the first fight. We're going to look to push as we deal damage here. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy. I'm going to steal this ground pod so that there's no shenanigans where they come back onto it. Our Reaper immediately LBs here into my CS, which is huge, because now they have 0 defensives into this and they're amplified into damage, so they're going to just die immediately. I'm going to drop Seraph here on point, because while Crystal is being pushed per checkpoint, it's good to have Seraph on there. It looks like some of us are falling back here to Elixir, excuse me. So I'm going to just Adlo DT up. My LB has popped, but awkwardly it's not on my bar, so we're going to fix that real quick. Yeah, here we go. LB into CS for this machinist, who's going to die immediately after CS. There's no defensives here. I'm going to look at this Viper, who's going to look to try and solve for their team, given that they're -1 player advantage. Never mind, we're actually going to look Gunbreaker, who's going to rip their LB immediately. I'm going to Expedient while they're LBing so that they're sort of animation locked into it. Pro tip, just try and fight Gunbreaker as they're LBing, because they literally have no access to any of their buttons except the trigger to proc the LB stun. Now we're going to go Viper. Reaper LBs here, which is great. And we also have a Picto LB, which is going to make things a little bit dicey just because they have damage mitigation now. I'm getting LB'd. I should have immediately guarded, but I went into the recuperate instead. I have a wildfire on me, so as I'm going to wait out this wildfire, excuse me, I'm going to sit in the back a little bit, let the wildfire expire, make sure I don't get any damage. I'm also going to add low DT into Seraph because we are still stuck on the point here. They are 3, we are 4, so we're going to just keep pushing here. As I deal damage, I had to purify that, otherwise I was going to die. I'm going to reset here because I have no mana left. I want to keep and maintain high mana and HP. We're going to go back in, add low DT. I see the guarded Picto here. We're going to CS that, get him out of the fight here, and one last person remains, which is the Viper. They should really get on the point here if they want to make sure they win the game, but I guess they're off of it. And that is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We are going on our way up the ranks. As you can see here, everything went smoothly, so we're going to go right into game number 2 right after this. Alright, this is game number 2 about to start here. This one didn't take too long to find, roughly 2 or 3 minutes, so we're going to get right into this, and it's on a map change, which the new map is going to be Cloud 9, also known as C9. This map is pretty 50-50 for Scholar. I'd say it can be hit or miss, just like Bayside, just because there is that middle point problem that also is plagued by Bayside in C9, where pretty much you have to make sure that that initial opening fight is pretty much won, because once that middle fight is lost, it's not that the game is not recoverable, but it becomes very hard. But then again, I feel like I could say that for just about any map. I don't know, for these two in particular, Bayside and C9, there seems to be that theme there. I think you can get away with losing first fight in, say, Palestra or Volcanic, etc., but these two maps kind of have that issue that I'm not sure how you would solve. I mean, before, actually, fun fact for those who may not know, C9 used to be wide open in that middle field. If you see the walls here, those were never there. But as of Season 14 or Season 15, or whenever 7.1 dropped, that's when they added those walls. So, yeah, it just goes to show how much of a long way the game mode has come and how much the maps change over time. But yeah, neither here nor there. We are running into a small problem, though. We don't have a front line other than our monks, so we're going to have to keep an eye on our team here, make sure they don't overextend and do anything crazy. Make sure everybody's buffed here. I'm not going to drop Seraph or Expedient right away. I'm going to wait for them to walk up a little bit, so like right now is a good time. I'm going to look for their non-mitigatable or non-mitigated teammates to make sure I get the maximum damage off of Bio here. I'm going to CS the Gunbreaker even though they don't have guard, just because I did see them guard. Our team's taking a lot of damage here. I want to probably fall back here because I'm low mana, and I know I'm probably going to be focused as a result of that, so we're going to just give them space here as our team falls back. And as you can see, we're running into the first problem that I mentioned earlier of an all DPS team. Since there's no front lines, we're going to just be taking damage for, not for free, but rather more frequently. I guess that's the word. But we're down -1. Things aren't looking the best here, and I'm trying to salvage as much as I can. We can't really push the crystal even though this person wants me to, just because we're sort of disadvantaged here. I'm going to save my summoner here, actually, from a dot that was about to kill them. I'm going to get this Gunbreaker to get off of one of my teammates and get on me so that I can soak some damage for them. Our summoner should really, in theory, just be resetting here. I'm not sure why they haven't yet. And I somehow got killed. It is what it is. If we could catch the red mage here, this would be huge. If we can get the red mage out of the game, it'd be a 3v3 game. And it looks like they're going to make it out. Unfortunate. Alrighty, so the game plan here is to just reset, play further back, because as I spawn here, it's going to be 3v5. Notice how one person came back. They're going to be in this fight back eventually. So overall, this is just a fallback and regroup angle. It is kind of looking like a loss here just because they have LB advantage. It's 2 LBs. followed by a third and a fourth one coming up from Gunbreaker and Picto. It is what it is. I'm going to set up for this Feather, because, fun fact, Feather actually... Oh, I should have given this to my Monk. It is what it is. Feather actually decreases your GCD cast times, so you're going to see how that looks like in a minute. Our Ninja goes for the LB, which is huge here. I'm not going to LB this just because we have an advantage. I want to save LB for something like their checkpoint when we need more defensives and mitigation and things of that nature. I'm going to take this time to add low. CS the Gunbreaker, because they're going to be stuck in animation. Look how that lined up perfectly. Oh, I'm going to go guard real quick. Excuse me, because Dragoon LB. We're looking Red Mage right now, who's looking really weak. We got a Meteo into that Red Mage, which is huge. Our Machinist has to look at their HP real quick. Sorry, hesitated. And I'm going to just expedient here as we try to get their Dragoon out of the fight, who looks like they're going to escape. White Mage LBs. Dragoon is still coming into the fight. Summoner is just caught. I'm going to fall back a little bit, make sure my Monk is on point here. I'm going to just broil down the Dragoon just because they were in life for one frame. I'm going to Seraph here, actually, just so that I can give my team some breathing room if they even have any. I'm going to fall back here because it's 1v4, basically, or 1v5. I'm going to just get glared by the White Mage. It is what it is. Our teammates need to look to fall back here. This is what I'm saying, like, matchmaking wasn't the best here just because we were in an all DPS team plus a healer, while they have a tank, which isn't going to make things fairly easy by any means. Summoner's going to just look to open on the White Mage here. I'm going to still save my LB. There's really no reason to use it until we're on a better spot here on the game state, that is. Gunbreaker LB goes off. I'm going to look for our ground pot in the back here. And you know what, actually? No. We're still good. We're still good. I'm going to expedient this. Picto LB here, which is pretty bad considering we need to get more people off the stage here. I'm going to guard this, give it to my Monk so that they can reset for Meteo, or get their Meteo LB gauge filled. As they fall here, we're going to look Gunbreaker, who I do not have a CS for, but Meteo comes in to clutch it. So now we have some space to push back. We're going to get ready for their checkpoint, which is the perfect time to use the LB. So it's great that I have it saved for this particular moment. Their White Mage seems to have threw the game here because they LB'd into death, and that's pretty bad for them. We're going to look and keep pushing. As I push up here, I'm going to add low DT, just so that no shenanigans come up where, you know, say a teammate gets caught or anything. And this also gives my teammates here space to push up as they secure some more kills here. I'm going to drop Seraph over there, or no, it's going to go over here. I'm actually going to now LB, even though I can save my Summoner. I'm going to Enhanced Bio, CS the Gunbreaker immediately, because the minute they get LB, they're going to just use it off cooldown. Expedient here into more Seraphic Halos, just spread the damage. Keep Seraphic Haloing as we push. Dragoon in air. I'm going to save my guard in case anything happens. I unfortunately get caught, but it's okay. I'm going to CS the Dragoon just so we can secure the kill here. And then Picto should be the only one remaining. Picto is going to go down here, and the only one to save the game now is Gunbreaker, which I do not think they're going to make on time. And we just, ladies and gentlemen, turned the loss around into a win. That's exactly how you do it. That's exactly what you want to do. You just don't want to lose hope, even though it might seem grim or dire. But we made it, and we're going to just continue the win streak going. We even got our player commendation here. And yeah, we're going to move on to game number 3 right after this. While I'm waiting for the next game here, I thought I'd take the time to explain the concept, or rather, not the concept, but rather the efficient use of Chain Stratagem, also known as CS. Basically, you know, CS is probably one of the most powerful buttons in the Scholar Toolkit that essentially allows you to turn off guard for 50% of the damage reduction value, and here's the game 3 cue, by the way, and also increase the damage by 10% for 10 seconds. There is a sort of tier list, which I'll put on screen now, or in the description at least. You can have both, and that will essentially tell you what's considered a good CS-able target versus a bad one, just so that you can sort of understand when and where to use it, right? There is a sort of like time and a place, and it's not that you don't want to use it off cooldown, right? Like there's it's really hard to do so, but there is a sort of like series of targets where it's beneficial versus when it's not. So I was just going to explain all of that, but I guess the queue beat me to it. So without further ado, here we are into game number 3. Still on C9. No map change. I don't think it happens that fast, at least. But we're gonna run into a small problem here because if I saw that correctly, we are once again all DPS or with one healer. But they're not doing so good either because they're also all DPS. There is no healing there, which means everybody's healing responsibility is on them. But we also have ninja into ninja matchup, so this is going to be sort of decided by ninjas, whoever has the better ninja. Just because we have 2 ranged casters and 1 fizz caster, I don't know. This could go either way, honestly, but I do think we have a small edge just because I'm the healer in the group or the healer in the party. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I do think if we snowball, which is very likely considering Machinist and Ninja have really high burst value, so we'll see about that, and maybe Pictos to some extent too. I don't know. I'm just trying to grasp for, any sort of information that I can regarding match outcome right before it even starts, just so that it can sort of predict how it will go. But anyways, let's see here. I would like for my team to go this way, just because we can set up better, have cover if things go south, and it also helps me set up better. Anyways, they're going to go right into this fight. I'm going to drop Seraph immediately into the Expedient. We have the Ninja guarding, so I'm going to just bio them into the DT. We're going to make sure we don't die to anything crazy. I'm going to take this time to pot up. And my ninja should also do the same. Seraph should also be covering the fight as I'm doing all that. Then we're going to go right back into it and ILO DT for free. I see their ninja is really low, so we're going to just keep going here into some broils. Make sure that they get the kill secured. Nice. Adlo, but no DT. We're going to just Expedient. We got our Picto stun, but their Picto also stunned us, and we're going to just bio into spread. I guess no spread. We're going to just stay on Picto, Picto bio. While my team is trying to get some kills here, we're going to stay on checkpoint here. Make sure that we could probably go for Feather while one of my teammates stay here. We're going to stay right in the center because, fun fact, the person who is closest to the center of the Feather actually gets it. And immediately after the Monk falls, we're going to CS him just so that we can set up for the Ninja just like that. And then this is pretty much game over because now... Or maybe not. I don't know. We gotta be careful. I purified the first one. Maybe I should get the ninja here. I'm gonna actually drop Seraph into LB here. Make sure that my red mage survives, please. Nice. We got a machinist LB coming in. I'm gonna make sure I stay high HP so I don't get ninja LB'd. I'm gonna keep Seraphic haloing. I'm gonna look for a bio spread on whoever hasn't died yet, just so I can secure the full value. We're going to CS the Monk, given that we know that their guard is down. They're going for a Meteo for some reason, and ladies and gentlemen, that is game number 3 for you. As you can see, these games become easier over time, just so you know that you're doing the right thing. You're carrying and following up on all your CDs as you go. Don't know what I meant to say there, but neither here nor there. That is game number 3. We are roughly 2 games away from silver, which would be a perfect stopping point. Excuse me. I was going to say starting point. Stopping point, assuming those are wins, because then that will be the end of episode 2. And yeah, all that good jazz. But before we move on to game number 4, a quick word. Not from our sponsor, but for these messages, which if you watched episode 1, you know exactly where this is going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that point in the video where I politely ask if you can do the YouTube thing for me. Lelouch, what is the YouTube thing? The YouTube thing, for those who don't know, is very simply put the like, comment, rate, subscribe. It will help me out tremendously in ways that you can't possibly imagine, kind of like Obi-Wan. But in all seriousness, guys, please like, comment, rate, subscribe. It will help me go a long way. And yeah, all that fine jazz. Thank you so much. Nice job. It's funny, right after I did the YouTube thing, this was an instant pop, so we're going to go right into game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the win streak continues because I don't want to sit here and have to go back and forth. We did have a loss in the first episode, but I'm sure we'll be fine, assuming the queues stay consistently in terms of the match qualities. And I'm not going to hold you, like, things are pretty easy in the low elos. Once you start hitting the gold, plat, diamond-ish area, it's where things can get a little dicey, just because games can go either way once again, even if you have the right team comp, or team comps rather, set up in the way where you can win, stuff like that. But we'll see how this goes. In any case, we have a balanced team comp for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. 2 heal, 1 tank, 2 DPS. So we'll see how this goes, because now I'm a little bit more confident. Wow, I can't talk. Confident in my team's capabilities and how they play and stuff like that, given that there really is no excuse as to why we would lose, if ever. Here, I would say Gunbreaker is going to do very well in defending our team, especially our range DPS, which are our only form of DPS. So we're going to actually have to keep an eye on our Gunbreaker, who's our only form of melee here. Everybody else is ranged, either caster or physical, or whatever the case may be. But also on their end, they only have 1 melee, which is Ninja. So if anything, or well, actually, we have Red Mage, who can sort of act as a pseudo melee at times. We'll see. Anyways, small analysis over. Let's get right into this. So as we always do, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll go right side to make sure our team kind of gets the message to do that. We'll get a lot of them in. I'm going to add low DT early, even though it might have been a waste, but what I will do is, as soon as Crystal starts popping here, open, we're going to drop Seraph. I'm going to look their Ninja, spread with Bio, then immediately look into adloing myself. Doesn't matter what Ninja does here, I could care less. We're going to just keep fighting here. It looks like their White Mage is about to go down here, really low HP, and just like that, we get the first kill. We're going to add low DT, but I'm not going to Purify. There's no reason to Purify if I'm not caught in a heavy chain of CCs here. As we push here, we're going to just broil our way up. I'm going to make sure to get people into the expedience buff just so that they get the DPS buff. And as we're pushing here, we're going to look at the front fights. We're going to ignore the back fights here, because ideally our team should take care of it. Our machinists should look to heal if they can. I'm going to just give them the adlo just in case. I'm going to adlo DT, and right here is where things can start getting a little problematic, just because people are split up. We should be grouped together. Ninja's doing a pretty well-known strat known as ratting, diverting the attention of the team here. And as they're doing that, we're also a little bit split. So I'm going to just look to escape here if I can. Gunbreaker's on point, so I'm actually going to drop Seraph here to help them in the sustain department. And also the survival, if they can even make it out. Nope, looks like they're dead. We're going to walk out of here, make sure we reset before we go back into the fight again. But everything should be fine. We still have a 50 advantage. I'm actually going to go look on point here, given that my Seraph is on here. So if anything, we should be fine. I'm going to CS this person. This is where I'll Purify, just so I can squeeze the CS in. And I'm going to actually look to LB here so that I can secure the feather. Hopefully nobody contests this feather. And I hope I also made it. I did not. As this Picto falls, we're going to Seraphic Halo them for the first initial damage hit. And we're just going to keep Seraphic Halo. I'm going to drop Bio into the DT, get most of the damage in on the enemy team here. And as my thing expires, I'm also going to try and get into this fight here. Keep the push going. The longer we have team on Crystal here, is the longer we're going to have objective advantage. I knew the Ninja was going to go and LB me here. It's okay. I might be going down here. That's fine. We have space to fall back and regroup here. Let people just die, we'll reset, it's no big deal. We do have Gunbreaker LB for the next fight, Machinist LB for the next fight, so we're going to be just fine when it comes to trying to contest their 50. We just need to make sure everybody's grouped up so that nobody gets caught or anything like that, like my Machinist is about to. It is what it is. But it looks like we need to get push the Crystal call here. I don't know why we're skirmishing when we have a Crystal to push here. I'm going to drop Seraph because this is now a disadvantaged fight. I'm going to also drop Expedient, and our team goes -1 again. It is what it is. I'm going to just give them the 50. If they break, we have advantage on the next break, so it actually isn't that bad as it seems. I just got to make sure I don't die myself here. I'm trying to soak as much damage because I know not too many people elixir after getting hit by so much damage. Our Black Mage is just going to fall down here. Wow, this is not looking good. I'm going to just wait for teammates to come up here. Sometimes as a Scholar, literally that's all you can do. Without a team, you're pretty much not useful here. Adlo DT, I mean Bio DT, excuse me. I'm going to Purify this. This is a good time to LB here just so that we can save the fight here, but it looks like their Ninja is just going to clean us up here. I'm going to take ground pot and then immediately guard onto point here. Picto LB is not a good sign. What I'm going to do is, for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, enhanced Adlo, just so that I can save my team here and buy us some time. I'm going to drop Seraph here now that it's off cooldown. I'm going to drop in one Seraphic Halo. I'm going to take Feather if I can. I'm dead center, so I should be able to win the Feather fight, and I do not. Wow. Unfortunate. We're going to immediately enhance Adlo off of ground, and then I'm going to reset here. With Seraph on the field here, we should be able to win fights just because our healing is a little bit better. We're going to look their Picto if we can. They're caught off by the tornado. I shouldn't get hit more than once. Wow. Everything's going a certain way, man. Alright, Ninja here. I'm gonna CS the Red Mage, which is one of the bad targets from the tier list that I'm going to include on the description, by the way, for those who want to see. Red Mage should go down here in theory. I'm gonna go behind wall here, make sure I don't die. Look their Pictomancer, who is now in guard. I'm gonna go grab the ground pot so that they don't have space to take it. White Mage LB for them. I'm going to Adlo DT to make sure my team stays alive here. And I'm actually going to Seraph this just because this doesn't look like a good angle to stay without Seraph. CS the White Mage, Adlo DT. Oh god. We're going to LB this, and Ninjas is going to just clean up, man. Wow. First loss of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. We just had, unfortunately, a melee diff, or rather DPS diff. Everybody just falls. It is what it is, guys. But yeah, let's see what we could have done better. Honestly, I think if I just didn't die those 2 times, because Scholar needs a lot of uptime to make sure that they can get most of their buffs and different abilities in. That I'll take responsibility for. And yeah, I don't know what else really. I think if I won the Feather fight, which I swear it looked like I was going to get it, but I don't know. 50-50 coin flip. It is what it is. First loss. But that just means more content. Anyways, let's move on to game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, this is game number 5. Cleared our mind from the previous loss. We're moving right on ahead to game number 5. New game, new me, as they say. This doesn't look too bad, actually. We have a lot of burst damage. We have more amp. For those who don't know what amp is, it's basically amplification of damage. So I have Expedient. Bard has their what is it? Their arrows, right? That's pretty obvious. Yeah, Bard has their arrows, but more specifically, their blast arrow plus the previous one, right? Blast arrow is the post one. I know that. In either case, and their LB. So there's a lot of amp going on here, and the cherry on top is, of course, going to be Gunbreaker when they LB. So we'll see how this plays out. In any case, I'm gonna go right into this. This time I'm going to do a left side push just so that we're wide open here and people can set up better. I'm actually going to wait for people to group up here just so that I can get the full Adlo plus DT value, excuse me. Dropping Seraph here plus Expedient. We got most of the team in there. I'm going to look Ninja to drop the Bio DT. Looks like we got a good majority of them in it. We're going to look into reapplying Adlo DT. And more specifically, saving our Gunbreaker here, who their Gunbreaker's caught. I'm going to broil and look for the next target to CS when they guard, which might look like to... Never mind. I was going to say it was going to look like the Black Mage here. The Machinist in the back here is going to get caught, so we have some space to push here, given that the only contest is going to be the Ninja. As we do that, I'm going to also save all my resources for when their team is going to push up again. Don't think it's going to be right now, given that we still have numbers advantage. Machinists very smartly place their Bishop auto turret so that we have some shielding as we push this crystal to break. And speaking of break, we're going to break the crystal now. And we're also going to dump our resources now, given that they now want to contest crystal. So I'm not going to purify any of the ninja stuns here. What I am going to do, though, is CS them out of guard here. Make sure I can get the bio in if I can. If I can't, it is what it is. Bio plus DT is going to be the amp. I didn't have CS for the Gunbreaker. Maybe we can get him, please. Thank you. I'm going to take this time to LB so I can save my team here. This is looking like pretty much a guaranteed win. We have so many responses to their different things, and we have also a Bard LB coming up. Gunbreaker's looking pretty low here. I'm going to Enhanced Adlo to save them. into a expedient. Make sure that the ninja gets caught by the tornado. It is what it is. Looks like we're going -1. I'm trying not to give ninja room to LB me here. We're going to elixir here while we wait for them to push the crystal here. Going to CS Black Mage, just because they look like they're pretty weak on resources and or other things. But overall, my team is pretty low, actually, so I'm going to just fall back here. Make sure that we fall back and regroup here. Get the Gunbreaker to chase me. I'm going to just run for ground pots. Wait for my team to come back, and we're going to just play it like the same way we did from the beginning. I'm going to look to broil the Bard a little bit here, get them a little bit low. Make sure that they don't have too many resources on the next fight. Expedient, bio into DT. I'm not going to CS them. I'm going to purify this just because I'm caught in the middle of the line of sight of all their team. And that ninja just so happened to time their things right. But then we get our Bard LB, or no, their Bard LB into one of our teammates. So that's just going to be problematic here. I'm going to drop Seraph here and then re-Adlo up. Look to CS the Gunbreaker, which looks like it was going to be a waste. Ninja's going to just chain LB here, or maybe not. Our machinist has to be careful to not to get caught by any things here. Oh, they raw LB'd their machinist, and that's going to be a kill. We're going to look their Black Mage, who's just overextended here. I have CS in 1, CSing Black Mage now. Ninja's pretty low on their team. I'm still looking Black Mage here. I'm not going to be afraid of anything here, because as you can see, just as they're falling back, they're going to have one person being left behind. I'm going to try and maximize my point time and then Adlo DT as I walk away. Reset, or before I reset rather, I'm going to Expedient just so that they have the uptime for the damage buff. Bio DT. Look at their Bard again, who has lowest resources. Switch to Black Mage, given that Bard is out of sight here. Adlo DT, CS Black Mage, and then try and look for an LB when overtime happens. Big damage from our summoner here. We're going to look for a machinist here. If we could get one person out of the fight, that'd be huge. I drop Seraph here, and I'm going to make sure I don't die just so I don't repeat the mistakes from last game. We absorbed the Black Mage Ice, and I'm going to look to get this Feather if I can. We line it up perfectly, and there you go. We're going to get Feather, and anybody else who did not is going to take fall damage. I'm also going to look for this ground pot here. I'm not going to reset. I'm going to actually use this time to get some buffs in here onto my team before they die. If, you know, they can make it, that is. I'm going to make it out here as to the best of my ability. Look left side so I can dodge that. I think jumping actually might have saved me from the damage. It is a good thing to test if I can. We have 15 seconds on the clock here, so I'm going to actually use this time now to look at LB just so that we can have an advantage for the overtime fight here. So I'm going to do that right about now, just so that I can save my Gunbreaker. I'm also going to make sure I stay high HP here so I don't get LB'd by the ninja, but too little too late, I suppose. Their their machinist is about to go down here, so if we can catch their machinist, that'd be great. I'm hoping that we don't throw the game here. This is pretty bad if we do. Oh, wait, but we actually have plenty of space. We're at 93. So we have pretty much 2 fights, give or take, assuming we group as a team for both fights. Our team's going down 1 by 1. Interesting. But we have LB advantage here. We're going to have Gunbreaker and Bard, so hopefully they use it at the right times here. Bard is coming up now, so I'm not going to blow any resources just yet. I'm going to wait for everybody to group up, give them all the space in the world, because it's better to fight as a team than fighting as one person at a time, which is just going to perpetuate what is known as staggering. Either way, we're going to set up Seraph here on this corner just so that we have it from both angles. I'm going to contest point here and then park myself, CS the Black Mage. Nice. Next we go Gunbreaker. I have Wildfire on me, so I'm going to just stay away from my teammates so I don't proc the Wildfire effect onto teammates. And then now this is what I'm talking about. Yep, so now that we're grouped and we also had Bard LB, we're just going to pretty much win the game automatically. It's a good thing that my Bard saved LB for this fight, actually, just so that we can get the damage amp. And that is game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. We are now officially 3 games away, not 2, because as you can see, we're Bronze 1 3-star. We're going to be Bronze 1 1-star next game, Bronze 1 3-star, and then that's going to be the promo game for Silver. So we'll see how that goes. I don't want to extend this episode for too long, though, unless you guys want to watch an hour-long video, which I don't think will be that bad. I don't know. I'm yapping too much. We're going to call it here for this clip, actually. Yeah. And Instapop for game number 6. Hopefully this goes well, because we finished off on a good note on previous game, and I don't know, like it's hard to not find things to say in between matches and stuff, right? Just so I don't sound repetitive, robotic, or whatever the case may be. But I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Excuse me. Oh my god, I can't talk. I don't know what it is, guys. I guess I'm so enthusiastic, so passionate. Yeah, that's what it is. That's why I can't talk. No, but in all seriousness, not to be cringe. I don't know. I just don't want any dead air, right? And then there's gonna be comments like, "Bro, why is there between timestamp 33:55 to 34:12? He's not saying anything. What could have possibly happened?" You know, I don't think I've ever gotten a comment like that or seen comments like that. But now that I brought it up, people might, if you will, say exactly that. It is what it is. And I'm sure there's going to be comments of, "Oh, he says it is what it is" a lot. Yeah, those are the 5 words that changed my life forever, man. I might do like a fireside chat with Lelouch one day. I don't know when that will be, but yeah, neither here nor there. Let's see here. They have a Paladin, which is a little bit scary, and also Reaper. Reaper is automatically S tier for C9 just because when it comes to the map effect, assuming that Reaper knows what to do, they will simply just LB us while we're guarded, which will guarantee the map effect. We don't want to be a part of that, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully our team is aware enough of that very thing. And we also have the ninja from last game, which is pretty good, actually. Anyways, we're going to get everybody involved. I'm going to set up here, get that paladin. I'm going to purify their one and only stun, trying to get out. And then I'm going to spread the bio to the best of my ability here as I walk away. Their machine is going to get caught next. And wow, their wildfire cancels it. I'm going to look point here. Even though I haven't fully reset yet, I have Seraph as a lifeline here. I'm going to look their bard, keep broiling the bard. Add low DT. Broil bard. Nice. Now I'm going to reset, or now I'm going to expedient and then reset. But I think the expedient went to waste just because the enemy team looks like to be falling back here. So they're not going to make too much use of the damage boost. But I still have my recitation stack, so I'm going to actually use that time to dump bio into DT, getting most of the team there. I'm going to look my Black Mage, and never mind, they just died. Look, Paladin actually. Reaper LB'd early here. I gotta be careful. I'm going to just simply recoup my way back up. I CS'd into Reaper Portal, which is pretty bad. But they're still in the fight here, so it's actually not that bad as I thought. Expedient, bio. They get the amplified version. I'm going to drop Seraph before I die here. Black Mage just might kill me. I'm probably going to miss Feather. Nope, I got it just in time. Nice. Although I wish I LB'd before I got this just so I had the extra LB gen. It is what it is. They fell down here. So I'm going to actually LB this just so I have an AoE broil. Wow. Is that another Reaper LB back to back? They probably got the Feather. I'm going to guard all their damage here. Drop bio into DT. Get the back pot here. I'm going to just keep Seraphic Haloing for free just because I have some free GCD CD reduction from the Feather. So this is instant bios basically, actually. Bio into did I say instant bios? I meant instant broils if I caught myself there. I'm gonna broil or bio TT. Now I'm stuttering between the two abilities just because they both start with the letter B. B emoji. I don't know if you guys remember that. There's my ninja. He's chaining the LB here, so this is great actually. It's giving us space. There goes another one. So now we're evening up the game. We're preventing their 50 or their 50% just so that we don't have an overtime fight where we're going to have to fight into 50 and stuff. I'm going to save my resources here. Their machinist is by themselves. I'm not sure why they decided to push up after their teammates died. They're trying to do the thing. Wow, they actually did it. With the thing being FMA into Wildfire to proc the Wildfire. There's the Bishop auto turret. It's not in the best spot here just because we can just walk over it. I'm going to get my last recoup in, drop my Seraph, drop my Expedient, and we're going to wait out this Paladin Hollowed or Paladin Phalanx. Wow, everything's canceling my fucking elixir today, man. Bio, DT, add low DT. I'm going to still look Paladin here just so that we can get their tank off the board here and also prevent any cover shenanigans if the Paladin happens to know what cover does. In this elo, it's very hard to tell. Still broil. Paladin's really low. I'm not going to purify this. I need my recoup. LB just popped here. so I'm gonna pop it now. I'm gonna fall back here. That's what I was waiting for. Machinist LB is immediately countered, ladies and gentlemen, by guards, so make sure you have your guard ready for when you're up against Machinist. We're gonna enhance Bio into the DT, set up for my Ninja again, expedient our way to the Crystal push, and make sure we get most of the people that are left dead. I'm gonna reset here as my teammates push here. I highly recommend my Ninja to do the same. So Black Mage is on pushing duty. Excuse me. We're gonna look to push Crystal to the end zone here, because I think the only person left that can save it is Paladin. I'm going to enhance Adlo before my recitation stack expires, and it's a great stun from my Ninja here. I have CS ready for their Paladin, and Expedient's coming up just at the right time, but it doesn't even matter because we win the game, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, man, 2 more games till silver. Can't wait to get out of this. And yeah, I think that's game number 6 or 7. I'm starting to lose count now. Anyways, clip over. Moving on to the next game after the previous one. This game took roughly 20 or 30 seconds to find. I think I'm going to start doing that, by the way, just so you know how long these queues are going to take, because I feel at some point, I hope I don't jinx anything, you know, there might be a long wait time just for games to pop and stuff like that, so that'd be a little bit interesting to know. I got the idea from, for those who play old school RuneScape, like, they sort of don't do live commentary. You hardly, if ever, see live commentary OSRS stuff or OSRS content. It's always just like, hey guys, this is me from the future, blah blah blah, like I kind of did at some point in the video, right? But neither here nor there. Yeah, just thought I'd add that little thing here. So we're gonna go right into this and pretty much look at the comp here. 1 green 4 DPS into 1 blue 4 DPS, and we unfortunately have their Ninja on the other side, but let's see if we can make it out of here even if they are on the other side. Yeah, you know, Ninja is problematic when you don't have your own Ninja, because they are, as it seems right now at least, the determining factor in a lot of these games. If you don't have a Ninja with you, you're pretty much GG'd, because once they get 1 snap or 1 LB off, they're going to just finish off the rest of your teammates one by one. And given that most people in this elo don't really focus on their mana plus their HP as often, it's going to be, yeah, pretty much in a Ninja's favor. But neither here nor there. Let's see how it plays out. No need to be negative so early. I'm going to do the same strat as before. Just wait for my teammates to set up in a particular way such that I can get most of them on the buffs. So that looks to be 4 out of 5. I'm going to set up Seraph here and immediately expedient. Look for any opportunity to bio, but unfortunately I bioed into their guard. Shit, man. Alright, we're going to make sure our Machinist doesn't die here. Look, Machinist, dumping everything Machinist right now. Machinist lives. We're going to look their Paladin, and now we're going to look their Black Mage. Machinist unfortunately dies here, but we're still up in player advantage. CSing Black Mage here. Adlo DT. Keep going Black Mage. I'm going to broil Black Mage and make sure that we don't lose pushing here. I'm going to get LOS here, so it's up to my 2 teammates here who are fighting Black Mage, or actually 3 teammates. And then we're going to look their Summoner, who's now out of position. As I push Crystal here, I'm actually going to let go a little bit, just so I can get my teams to focus on the objective here. I see Ninja here. I'm going to CS him into Bio DT, just so that they get the enhanced version, plus the damaged amplified one. I'm going to look to fall back here, just because I'm low mana, and I don't want to die here. I'm going to guard up, just in case. You never know. And then as I'm doing this, I'm going to fall back to Elixir here. My teammate should have all the buffs in the world. I'm going to drop Seraph here as the next set of fights happen here. Their Summoner's going to go down here. I'm going to get caught by something, but thankfully they're Ninja with their LB, meaning they missed it. I'm going to drop Bio DT as I go in for Feather here, because in case somebody gets caught by anything, they take the the Bio damage into the fall damage, so we get best of both worlds here. I do have Black Feather on me. I do want to look to LB this, just so I can start making use of instant broils from the Black Feather. As you can see, easy free damage, and we're just taking them down one by one. That's exactly what we want. Free damage, free broil, or rather in this case Seraphics. I'm going to wait out my recitation stack here, just so I can enhance Dadlow into DT my teammates here. Going to push my team as one person pushes the Crystal here, expedient, so that we get the frontline damage here. I'm going to purify this just so I don't get caught by anything, and then take their ground pot just so that nobody secures ground pot. And then while we're here, we're going to drop Seraph actually, because eventually Crystal's going to make their way here. We're going to make sure we also don't die. I get shield smited. It is what it is. I'm going to get out of here. And wow, that one play might have just saved the game, even though I was about to, or not save the game, but win the game, just because I was about to die. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you win a game of Crystalline Conflict in Bronze for the 7th or 8th time. There's a streak bonus, so we are 1 game away from Silver, and hopefully that next game is going to be the win for the end of the episode. Anyways, clip over. And here we are, the promo game into Silver, instant pop from the previous one. Let's make this happen. I'm actually pretty excited for this because assuming I continue the streak here, that would mean 5 games to gold for episode 3, so on and so forth, all the way throughout the entire series. I've seen people do Unranked to Crystal series back before Omega and Ultimate dropped, where I think, assuming I'm doing the math right, excuse me, it's approximately like 32 or 33 games in a row, assuming you lose none of them, to get Unranked to Crystal. But we've already lost 2 games, and I'm not sure what the win-loss count would be throughout the entire series. That'd be a nice thing to put at the end of the videos. Yeah, win-loss streak, or not streak, but rather win-loss count, so that we're aware of where we are and things of that nature. Because I feel like once I hit maybe Diamond Crystal, things aren't going to be as smooth sailing as they seem now. Hopefully, I hope I don't regret saying that. But you know, because as you climb, obviously things are going to get a little harder. And with that, you know, you're going to see maybe more losses or more wins depending on how you play as a player. But yeah, it's also nice to see how that progresses and the ebbs and flows and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, neither here nor there. Let's make this happen. I am actually pretty confident we'll win this just because I see Samurai for the first time. I don't think I've seen the Samurai all series. And Samurai is a pretty decent front line, especially considering you don't really have a tank here. Let's see here. Team is going to set up here, make sure that we get most of them in. I'm going to wait until Crystal pops. I'm going to call for the group up, and then add low DT now into the Expedient so that we're all ready to go. I'm going to drop the Seraph here, guard immediately because I'm not sure if I was going to be the first one targeted, and it's a good thing I did because all that damage went to me. I'm going to make sure I spread the bio just so I don't die here. Add low DT. We have advantage, looking ninja right now, making sure that we get the ninja as they stealth out. Black Mage is in guard. We're going to CS that immediately, add low DT so that we can maintain our defensive advantage here. It looks like we're getting line of sighted. It is what it is. I'm going to Expedient here as I walk away to reset. Hopefully I don't die because we have no mana right now. Elixir into the back. We should look Black Mage here, who is the lowest. Nice. On to the next target, which should be Ninja. I have CS for their guard here, so I'm going to CS that. Now we have a 5v2 situation, making it pretty easy to secure the 50 here. Machinist is going low. And then now all we have left is the Summoner. So we're going to make sure we get Summoner out of the way once they make their way back, if they ever do. Maybe I could look for a cancel here. No, I don't have time. But I will start the Broil. Expedient. Get the Summoner out of position. Make sure that we also bio DT. Wow, we wasted their LB. That's huge. That's huge. That pretty much secures the game, ladies and gentlemen, because that's one LB we don't have to worry about. And Summoner LB is probably one of the strongest and burstiest in the game, next to maybe Red Mage. I'm not sure. Anyways, neither here nor there. I'm going to LB this. I'm going to enhance Adlo, just because I'm not feeling too safe right now. Ninja has LB. I'm going to Seraphic into Expedient, Seraphic, CS the Machinist, and get ready for the map effect that's supposed to take place in 10 seconds. Look for their Feather, which should be this one right here. I'm going to Purify just so I can get the kill on the Black Mage, get a kill on the Bard, and then I'm going to run for Feather because I know 9 times out of 10, first instinct is to maybe guard. So I secure the Feather and get more LB gen for the next fight here. Unfortunately, one of our teammates go down here, which is okay. Samurai secures the kill. We're going to make sure we don't get hit by the Tornado for free damage, because that thing can really be troll sometimes. Machinist here. They have LB. We go -1. I'm CSing Bard, who has no response to that. Get amplified damage. We want to take Bard out here as soon as we can, just because we don't want to fight into their damage amp. We have Seraph up again, so I'm going to just do that real quick. Get their ground pot. And we're just going to Seraphic our way up. I'm going to look their Summoner, who I'm sure has no mitigation from Aegis. Free Seraphic damage. This is exactly what we want. Cleave. Cleave all the way. I'm going to look to Expedient here. I should have Expedient my Machinist before he'll be there, though. That's fine. We're slowly securing kills here. I have Wildfire. I do not want to proc it onto my teammate, so I'm going to guard this! Wow. That was so scary. Bio into the win. And before I forget, BGM 100, so you can hear what I like to call the newsroom music. You'll see what I mean. Watch this. There's Silver, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, as I said, that music reminds me of just like the news, right? When you turn on your TV and then the thing is about to start, that's what I think of. I don't know if it's just me. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We reached the goal of silver. I would have liked to continue going into gold, but unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. I was, setting aside maybe an hour and a half to this stuff. And yeah, that's going to be it for episode number 2. I'll see you guys again next time, which will most likely be next week, maybe earlier if God's willing or if life's willing. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I'll catch you later and next time. Bye!